do 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 do. Let's see here. Trying to keep up with doing a daily character. I don't know. Should I like try and finish out this ink? I kind of feel like I already messed it up. I like already messed this ink up. See, that's why I don't like doing inks. But I feel like to get good at something, you just got to be bad at something, right? Is that basically how it is? Let's see how this audio sounds. With doing a daily character. I don't know. Should I like try and finish it? I kind of feel like I already messed it up. Like I already messed this thing up. See, that's why I don't. Okay, seems like the audio is gonna work. Um, maybe I shouldn't even do like the warm ups. Maybe I should just like go straight into. That's probably what we'll do. Though I mean, I guess no, the warm ups are important. It just seems like it's probably really boring to watch. You will. We're gonna do them anyway. Okay, let's see here. This is all tangled up. I guess we'll put some music on. Let's see here. Maybe we could even listen to some like sermons and stuff. Let's see here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I've never actually heard this before. Intriguing. This might be really loud actually. Wait, never mind. I can actually turn this down and turn this up. Let's see. Trying to figure out if this audio is gonna work and it's not blowing like you used to hear me with the music. This might be really loud actually. Turn this down. To be the case. See what I should have done? I should have done this. Maybe I should have done like for the inking, maybe I should have like warmed up with doing something like this beforehand. Ugh. Guess we'll just do some like other warm-ups. Some other warm-ups that I haven't really like messed with. Totally messed that one up. I'm totally weird. I literally don't know what I'm doing. Just messed around. I've actually never listened to the soundtrack. The N64 version. Just trying to do like an accuracy test within this one. I mean, even like warm up with like your CD piece or something. How loud is this? Maybe turn it down a little bit. Listen to this while doing this. Should we do another? Nah. Let's just go into a character. I was gonna maybe like do like a graffiti piece warm up, but nah. I don't think we can do that, man. What kind of character should I do? Okay, so I drew a chick yesterday, and I'll draw a paladin today or something. More paladins. I guess, you know what, maybe we should. Maybe we should, and we will listen to. I'm wondering, like, what rap stuff would be not like under copyright. Paladin, 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 Paladin. Let's do another warm up. This time it's going to be just a graffiti piece warm up. I used to be fond of this stuff. We'll use. Shall we use the blue? I might as well use. We'll use the purple. Let's see it more. You can see it more. Okay, so that is straight point of view. Let's see if I can remember some of my letters. Looks kind of lame. I don't know. I can come back from this, man. Okay. That's all. That's kind of what I like doing, is like trailing the piece to where you can like connect it all in some degree. Honestly, like, these things are pretty good shape exercises, like shape exercises in terms of like figuring out abstractions and stuff, because sometimes you just gotta go with it, man. It's kind of interesting, actually. Okay, yeah, I gotta like figure out how to connect. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I connect this one into the next letter. I'm almost forgetting my. It's like, see, so it's not necessarily you do the same letters every single time, but well, unless, yeah, I mean that is kind of the case, but it's like you do a simple, like, you understand the letter that you're doing, and you build from that, and you can always build from that if you kind of know the underlying thing. And right now I'm trying to figure this out. I don't think I'm gonna have enough room. Let's see here. Okay, so I've kind of forgot. What else? How do I connect this one? Okay, so this one. This is not probably gonna work out. But yeah, these exercises are definitely good for like just like shape, just abstraction, something like that. Okay, yeah, that's how I used to connect it. I messed that up totally. Oh well, it's okay. Let's just... something like that. I'm gonna have enough room to do this. Oops. I totally messed this up completely. Let's try and like do the same little things up in there. That's the other kind of cool thing, like you kind of have to like somehow balance it out in some degree. And to do that, it's kind of fun. You gotta figure out how to... kind of totally got that wrong. Oh well. Oh darn it. Oh well. I ran out of room. I could like 3D it out. Should we do? I haven't really like done. I honestly haven't like 3D'd anything out so long. There's definitely some of the stuff that's gonna have to get covered over. It's okay though. So one of my buddies actually taught me how to do this. He's a cool dude. He would like draw without reference. It was so freaking crazy. I would literally be like, dude, how are you drawing without looking at anything? And he'd be like, dude, I just go with it, man. Like I just make a line and you just go with what the line goes with. And after he kind of taught me that, I was like, dude, that's really cool. And I took a lot of inspiration from him, actually. Just seeing how he did things. And so wherever you are, man, thanks for the inspiration, dude. Yeah, I got kind of bored of this stuff too. That's the other problem. I get bored with so much stuff. It's hard for me to like keep my interest in things. Like that's why I can't even like. I wish I could paint like literally like do like fantasy illustration paintings again. Man, just like I get so bored now. It's like I just have to move on. It's like weird. I don't know if anybody else is really like that. What do? You kind of just... Maybe that's what I should do. I should do these as like a warm-up, alongside with the other stuff that I did. Oops, did I get that wrong? Oops. So, yeah, I guess I won't even explain it because I don't want to reveal too much, I guess. But there is things I try and connect. That's one of the things, is it's fun trying to, how can you connect all the letters together, you know? Like how do you connect all the letters together? You know? And then I remember, like, you go in and which actually, there was another artist. It's kind of crazy seeing his work. His name's, oh man, you can't even see that green on there, but his name is Justin Coro Kaufman. It's so ridiculous because he actually used to be into graffiti before he got into like actual like illustration, and it's just so funny, dude. Like, if you see his work now, he's like super hyper realistic, like, you know, some freaking Ilya Repin, Russian painter thing. He's like on that level now, and just seeing where he came from is super interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting to see things like that. Now, see, I wish I was like confident with like doing an inking my characters, like, because it's something I am very hesitant on. Kind of weird that I just remember this after all these years. After all these years, man, I literally can still do this. It's kind of fun. It's like it's become muscle memory, you know? When you do something for so long, you just like it just becomes muscle memory. Yep. That's kind of cool. I kind of dig that one. That one actually kind of worked. So. Yep. Okay, let's draw a character now. Let's draw a... Oh, what in the world? What is this? It's a lightning bolt! For my other... Oh, it's for my other character. I'm using, this is my nice, nice expensive, clipboard. A piece of cardboard. I wish it was like, I mean, in another realm, it would be like, I would have like a crazy, like, pearl engraved, silver, you know, clipboard or something like that. That'd be crazy. What am I doing here? Okay, let's... Left to my own devices, I generally draw paladins. Left to my own devices, I will draw paladins indefinitely, probably. So, I mean, that's what ends up happening. Man. I mean, I did draw that one shepherd at one time, but man, dude, there's like the amount of characters that I've drawn and then just end up becoming paladins is just like. So now at this point, I just go, you know what? I'm just gonna draw a paladin, right? I'm kind of digging this like lo-fi stuff, huh? It's kind of chill. It's chill, man. It's chill. There's this ink. I mean, I kind of want to like keep going with it, but I feel like I already messed it up. We already messed it up, man. Let's see here. I wonder if my chat's working. Maybe people are trying to chat and I just don't. I don't see it. Actually, that's what I should see. Let's see here. Let me see if I could type something in. Greetings, travelers. Enter. Seems like my chat's working. Maybe I should like... Maybe that's what I should do. I should like... do like... tell me what to draw. Give me a character. Or something. Wow, that guy looks... That actually looks like a pretty cool drawing this dude's doing. Intriguing. It looks like they have like two cameras. A lot of them have like that, and then they have like their camera on them or something. See, like that chick has like, she's painting animals. Oh yeah, this section of Twitch is cool. You know, the one thing I do miss about digital art is I miss drawing with people, man. Like, you could do like the, you know, drawing with everybody. That's pretty cool. Oh man, it's like so hard to like... Oh wow, that chick's doing a study. Interesting, wow. That's gonna take a very long time. I give you major respect for doing that. That takes a lot of tenacity to do an old master study. It takes a lot of tenacity, wherewithal, strength, fortitude, zeal, vitality, resilience, stalwartness. Whoa, what other words are there for vitality and fortitude? I don't know what to do. Huh. I'll just draw something. Draw another paladin. I kind of maybe want to maybe what I'll do. You know what? Here's the thing. What I might do. I might try to attempt to ink every character that I'm doing. Because here's the thing, is that I am terrible at inking. And I feel like the only way I'm gonna get good at inking is if I actually ink things. So maybe that's what I should do. I should just draw a character out and try and ink it, I guess, you know? Alright. I guess that's what we're gonna... I don't know, I say this, but then I end up not doing it, so... Okay, let's start here. Luckily this lead isn't breaking on me. Sometimes when these pencils get old, you start sharpening them and they start breaking on you. Okay, let's see here. I guess we'll just do a normal pose like I always do. Nothing too drastic. Start with the torso. We will place the head. Place the pelvis. Oops, I forgot to lay out my perspective. I mean, not perspective. I guess that's the other thing I could be practicing my perspective stuff. We're gonna lay out our proportions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. We will place the end of the kneecap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. This pencil's all weird. Place the arm. We have the deltoid. We have the bicep. Going down, he will be holding a mace. A mace? Maybe a sword? I guess a sword. Maybe it will be a mace. stick for now. Yep. Can you still hear the music? Guess the audio sounds pretty good. Audio sounds alright. You know, actually, another thing is what's good is sometimes just looking at old drawings that you did and seeing what you did. Sometimes that's inspiring. Let's see. Let me look at this freaking character I got so far. How are we gonna build that up? How this guy gonna be built up? Okay, let's see here. Let us see here. Let's do another layer just to try and solidify maybe some of this stuff. One, two, end of the pack. The deltoid, we have the bicep. We have the lats. We have the abdominals that go into the pelvis. He's gonna be like casting some sort of spell, which I don't know. Yeah, let's do a sword. It's simple. I guess we already did a sword yesterday. We'll just do it as a stick for now, and maybe just build it up. Some of this, put some drapery. Okay, he's gonna have a massive shoulder pad. Another shoulder pad over on that side. He's going to be wearing a helmet. I guess we'll have a cape. These ones are just so... Now it's at the point where they're just so generic. But sometimes, like, I don't know. I guess if you just draw a bunch of them, there are little different characteristics, huh? I guess maybe I should just start drawing something else, but I guess that's the other thing, is like I was drawing the shepherd people, and those ones are definitely a lot harder because, you know, you can't really diddle-dally with the armor and stuff like that and make them into abstract shapes. You just kind of have to, you know, actually draw these things that somewhat have to look like they're somewhat working. I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of the thumbnail I got going. I try and do the drapery and the armor in the thumbnail in another color, just so I can see the what I did underneath it. I guess like somewhat of the anatomy, I guess. It's a little tedious. I honestly wish I could just draw like some of those guys and they just go whoop. They don't need the underlayer, they don't need to do all this stuff. But I've tried it and I'm just not good at it, man. Trust me, I've tried. But it's like, I don't know, I just have to do these like little things just to it just helps my mind. I guess I have to, you know, I don't know. It just helps me problem solve the problems until I get into until I actually get into it, and then I gotta solve those problems too. But yeah, those guys that really like draw like that, I don't know how you guys are doing it. I guess that's the thing, is maybe I could do it, because I mean, I've drawn paladins so many times. I've drawn, you know, it's like I've drawn this pose many of times. It's just a very generic pose. So maybe I could essentially do it. I guess I'm not confident at it, you know? I guess in terms of like how they're doing it, like say with like this, maybe that's how they're doing it. Maybe it's just like they already know like right off the bat like what they're going to go into, and they just go straight in, just maybe that's what they're doing. I kind of want to like, explore with some like different shapes. See, now I'm trying to think like, how do we? There's some of these shapes actually in this warm up that I did, which I kind of really like. I really like this one right here actually. I like this strange shape right here. It's like the skinny. It's like a skinny, round but angular line, and it goes into like a big one. I actually really like that line. That shape right there is just very interesting. And then how it kind of like goes back here. It's a cool shape. I'm kind of digging this. Like, I always used to do this a lot, but like the skinny shape into like a really thick one. I'm just trying to think like, is there a way to? Well, I know there's a way, but it's like, how do we translate our studies into like a figure drawing? Like, how are we to translate our warm-ups maybe into more of like tangible things? Yeah. Yep. I kind of want to like, you know, I don't know. It's good actually if you're doing this. Like, it's good to like probably like pre-plan things, have a bunch of reference up. I'm kind of just going into these a bit cold, so. So yeah, I guess let's just tackle this. This thing's actually healing. This cut thing is healing. Let's change the playlist. I actually got through that whole playlist. I can't even get through it. Well, you know what? That's actually what I want to listen to. Okay, let's do this. Let's just get going. See, another thing that hinders me is sometimes I'm like, man, I gotta like make this drawing good, all that. I gotta like, you know, keep careful watch of this paper. But in all honesty, man, like, it's just kind of like Photoshop. You can just do layer after layer after layer after layer. So there's nothing to fear. Because if you mess up, boom. I mean, I guess if you didn't have any more paper, that's when it could maybe become an issue. So anyway, from that, let's start this character. I'm actually going to do, these lines are really, really light, because actually that's one thing I'm taking, because my previous 4 characters, I was like doing this first line really, really heavy, and it's like I was trying to, the thing is I was messing up the placements and stuff. This was really light. One, 2, 4, 5, 7, 7.5. Boom. Okay. Now, okay, we got it going. We got it going. Let's just tackle this, man. Okay, so this is the portrait. The head we will draw. We have the line of action, somewhat of the spine. We're going to draw the tip of the torso. Kind of wondering, like, should I be talking while I'm doing this? Okay, so we have the tip of the torso. We're going in with the I can't talk right now. Abdominals. The line. That. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go into the pelvis. Pretty, very generic pose. From the pelvis, we know that the obliques are going to be connected right there. This is where the latissimus dorsi is. We're going to this, and we have first part of the collarbone. The collarbone goes up. That connects into the 3 parts of the deltoid. The rib cage is within here. We're going to attach the abdominals. I'm probably not making any sense, honestly. This is somewhat what I'm trying to think, though. I'm going to try and think of the portrait, the head, as a square to just simplify things, to make things easier. We're going to take that square and divide it. We're going to figure out the end of the kneecap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Boom. End of the kneecap. This is pushed into 3/4 perspective, so we're going to have this in a little bit of a line. From that, we know that this is the end of the kneecap, so we know, I forgot what muscle this is, but there's a muscle that goes up like that. It attaches like around, what's that muscle called? I forgot that, but I know that that's some sort of muscle. So we go in, boom, end of the kneecap. This is where the oblique is, I'm pretty sure. Oblique, oblique. The gluteus maximus at the end, the butt. This is the latissimus dorsi, the lats, something like that. I know there's another muscle, I think, in there somewhere. Kind of feel like that was way too. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Kind of, yeah. Okay. So this is pushed into somewhat of a perspective. So shin bone's kind of curved. We're going to curve this out. I don't know these muscles. I know that's some sort of muscle right in there. I know the knees are somewhat like kind of like little M's. And we have the end of the ankle. I remember there was some sort of figure drawing book where they're like, try and think of the foot as like 3 sections or whatever. Something like that. Okay, so we have the pillars complete. Does it look like it can bear weight? Because this guy's probably going to be holding on. How much does armor weigh? Actually, I don't know. I think I placed the head wrong. I always do that, unfortunately. Okay, so 2. 1, 2, end of the pec. Pec curves up because it has to, and it connects. It almost, I think it wraps. This is where it wraps around. Something like that. I don't know. See, yeah, this is how I don't. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about anatomy, but okay, let's see here. Now, well, I guess we'll figure out the arms. I don't like how this is right here. I feel like I've gotten the neck wrong. So that part is going to be a challenge in itself. I'm going to have to just do a couple layers to get that right. This guy, let's see here. We'll go into the deltoid. So this is the end of the collarbone. I guess that's the other thing, is how much of the deltoid are we going to see? Is this, I don't actually know the first, maybe, I guess we can maybe see 3 parts of it, deltoid. Okay, we're going into the bicep. We have the tricep behind. And this already looks wrong. Okay, so another landmark is the bone. What's that bone? The elbow bone. This goes down into something. I don't know what that muscle's called. This muscle is called something as well. It's just it's the circle. It's the C muscle. I don't know what it's called. I feel like I got that totally wrong. I did. I need to push this up. Up. I've gotten that wrong. That's one of the hardest things for me personally, is getting this position right of the head. I think this needs to be cut right there. Oops. That's what I was messing up. Okay, I know the hand is somewhat of like some sort of square with a triangle on top. I just feel like it's just very imbalanced. And that's not a good sign because this is the first layer. I think what's making it imbalanced is just this dude is fucking ripped, man. Holy Toledo. I literally think I need to push the legs back because it almost just seems like he's just gonna topple over. Actually, I might do that. Sometimes you have to make calls like that. So we're actually gonna push this, probably push his legs back a bit actually. Maybe it'll give it some more sturdiness of weight. It actually feels like something like that. It'd probably make no sense, but this is somewhat coming out a little better now. Do 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 do. Does that look balanced? Because I don't want to start freaking detailing stuff out if it's just gonna fall apart, if it's just gonna topple over. I think I need to actually, I think I got some of these proportions wrong. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. I did. That's what's making it weird. It's this leg. Let's erase it. I thought I was going to push it back a little bit more in perspective, but it's actually not like that. I think that's what's been wonking. That's what's been wonkified. Wonkification. End of the knee. We're pushing this all the way down over here. Guess I almost got it right. Huh? Okay, that looks more sturdy, right? Does that look... that looks... I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy, but I feel like that was more sturdy than what was there previously. Because I like the characters to see... Because especially once you start adding all this armor and stuff, Like I want it to feel like they could actually carry themselves. Like that, because what I used to do is I used to draw figures and like I'd armor them all up, and then it literally, like I would look back after I would render something out for 20 hours. I'd be like painting it, erasing it. I look back, and it looks like my character is gonna just like tip over on the side. So I don't know. That's just me though, I guess. And that, yeah. Ding 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 ding. Shit, I'm making little marks on my paper. I don't know, it's like, see, from this point on, it's like, do I want to do a paladin? I don't have to follow I don't have to follow this, you know, right there. Is this even working? Let's see here. I guess it is working. I don't know, should I draw a face on him? I was gonna maybe like just have him have a helmet. But I think we might draw a portrait. Portrait. Do 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 do. Okay, I got it. We're gonna do that old style. You know, like the monk hair? You know, I've seen a single person in real life have this hairstyle. So it's the hairstyle where it's like, you know, like the old like monks where they would have. I guess I'll just draw it out. Hopefully, if I can capture it. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Sharpen this pencil up. Oh wait, no, I don't need. I am freaking loopy right now, man. Oh, let's sharpen a mechanical pencil. Okay, let's see here. This is like where the rubber meets the road. This is where either where either this drawing is going to fall apart completely, or hopefully our figure underneath it will do justice, and hopefully I could get this on the camera, because this thing's literally, the camera's right by my eyes, so hopefully like I don't like touch the that's the other thing I've been like having to fight with. Just trying to get this to, I don't know, what kind of nose is this dude gonna have? Maybe we just like practice. Kind of want like a I mean, should this guy be like a stoic? I guess I could talk about the nose as well. So the nose is generally, there's like what, that top thing, it's like kind of like a not a triangle, but it's like a what's it called, like a square. Like a squared thing. I can't even, it's hard for me because I don't normally talk when I'm drawing, so I'm like trying to describe what I'm trying to do, and yeah. I think this dude's gonna have like a mustache or something. Draw a line for the mustache. It'll go down. It'll be a thick mustache. We got that. So we're trying to also think of this as a square. That's why I drew this square in the background. You can kind of see that. So if we think about this as a square, we know that the eyebrow ridge is going to come up, and the thing about the head is that it's like it's this strange shape. I kind of forgot. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, it's a square, but also there's like a line that goes in for where the cheekbone is, and if you can kind of figure where that is, it makes portraits a little bit easier to draw. And right now I'm just drawing the eyebrows. I generally don't like to draw the eye, I guess. And the thing is, you can always just erase this, you know. I'm probably gonna erase this portrait until sometimes it's like you just gotta keep hitting, you just gotta keep freaking mining it until like something like occurs, until where you're like, okay, that's like, it's kind of working now. And so the end of the cheekbone is right there, and then from that's where the what's that muscle called? I don't know. The muscle where it's like, you know, the chin, like the chin muscle. Oh, the chin's like some sort of square. Alright, something like that. And then there's like another. So since we know about that, and then we know since we're placing the eyes right there, we know that the ear is going to go about right here. These are all rough estimates. Because people are always different, you know. There's always different variables and stuff, but I think it's just good like landmarks to remember. For some reason you can't really see that on stream. Oh well. From this we're going to go down with the cheek, and you can kind of almost have it in there with the square, and see how I'm trying to follow this square. I'm trying to build everything up from that square. Something like that. This song's awesome. From here we know that, okay, so the forehead's weird. The forehead almost like indents from that, so they're like, I know, like, okay, so if we look at the side of the head, it's like that, and then from that the eyeball sits in here, and then we know from that's where the end of the cheekbone is, and then like the nose is like cartilage, because you know, like the nose, and that's where there's so many variables of the nose, because we know that that's the end of the skull, and the skull indents the skull's like that. So this part right here is kind of like, you know, we're just drawing that. This is kind of confusing to. You just you just gotta look up the freaking probably any anatomy book would tell you this kind of stuff. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna do the monk. The monk. The monk hairstyle. Let's see. Okay, so the monk hairstyle is like it's like you know, it's like freaking he's bald at the top and then he has like a dude, imagine this hairstyle. Imagine this dude's bald. Holy Toledo, I got it. I got it. Okay, so he's gonna be bald at the top. He's gonna have one dreadlock or something. Or no. What if like he had like a dread ponytail, but then he had a monk like halo thing? But his monk halo was straight hair, but then on the back he had like dreadlocks. I haven't seen anybody with that hairstyle, man. That shit would be dope. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe not. It's gonna happen. Watch. Somebody's gonna be like, bro, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see it. We're gonna see it. Hopefully I see it in my lifetime. Monk Halo. Dread. That takes like a long dread. I'm not talking about like some like, you know, little dread. I'm talking about like, dude, like dreads like down to here. Like we get into like some Samson territory. Okay, let's see here. I guess we could draw, since he only has like a mustache, we could draw like the end of the chin. Or not chin, his lips. Maybe he could have some stubblers though. Let's see here. I guess now we can maybe mess around with some of the armor. I'm digging that head. That's kind of interesting. So now the armor is just kind of easy. It's just you know, the basic like. Yeah, I guess depending on if you're trying to do armor that's realistic, you know, but generally, you know, most fantasy games and stuff, you can just it's kind of just abstractions of shapes and stuff like that. So what we'll do, I guess here's another thing I kind of like to do. So sometimes when I think about like armor, since like okay, so since we on this thumbnail we have a little sword or stick or something, I don't know what that is gonna be. Generally on that side of the since he has the weapon on that side, I generally like to put like more armor on that side, you know, because that's where like he's thrusting. And I guess maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I do. Anyway, let's see if we can draw a shoulder pad, a pauldron. I guess we'll just make it like simple. I think most pauldrons like end right at the deltoid. I don't actually know that for sure, so take one more grain of salt on that one. Something like that. We have his first piece of armor. You've leveled up, brother. Now you've gotten your first piece of armor. Oh yeah, I forgot we're gonna draw some drapery. He's also gonna have another piece. I kind of, and then now it's like playing WoW almost. What shoulder piece do you want? Do we want the same shoulder pads on both sides? which we could, but I don't think we're gonna do that. Maybe this shoulder pad will be like littler. I guess we could do some things to the shoulder pad. Actually, I don't really like that bun thing that I had going. I'm kind of actually not even liking this armor. This armor is a little, it's weird, but we'll keep going, I guess. I think I need to restart this playlist. Okay, let's see here. I don't even like this shoulder pad. I might change it. I guess he was supposed to be, what, a paladin? We could change this top part. Just kind of make it more. Okay, we'll just push that out a bit. Cartel Warlord. What's up, man? What does based mean? I don't even know, dude. Like, yeah, base in a turkey? And congratulations, Cartel Warlord. You are the first commenter that I've ever had. Welcome. We're drawing a bicep right now. Actually, he's gonna have like maybe like 3 like levels to this. Like it's based. Yeah, I don't know. When I think of based, I think of like basing a turkey, you know? Like, how do they base a turkey? They put it in a bunch of brine. Something like that. This dude's gonna like be wearing some drapery or something, right? Underneath his I used to do commissions. Not so much lately. I generally have just been gifting these drawings out to people. I used to do like drawings for like people in the church and stuff. It's kind of cringy, but that's what I used to do. Yeah, I used to do a lot of commissions though. Right now I'm just trying to get like back into the groove of drawing because like I took like a 6-month break, man. I actually got really burnt out of drawing and I almost like was debating on not even drawing anymore, honestly. Just because I don't know, I got really burnt out, man. Yeah, the church doesn't commission as much anymore, but man, they used to back in the day. It's something that they need to bring back. I mean, like some of the gnarly, church artists. I mean, we got like Michelangelo, Caravaggio, Bernini. Some crazy painters would be commissioned by the church, and they don't do that much that anymore, really. But they probably need to get back into doing that, honestly. Oops, messed that up. I don't know, what kind of weapon is this dude gonna have? I don't know. I guess since I did a sword, I guess we'll just have a sword, huh? I said I was gonna try and like ink this out, because I need to like get better. I'm actually really bad at inking, and the thing is, I want to learn how to ink, because I see those guys, like of course you see everything on Instagram, but like I see some incredible inks on there, and like I've never ever been good at inking. The thing is, or like traditional inking, I just always just mess things up. Kind of not. I don't know. It just seemed weird, huh? Guess he's gonna have like a gladius kind of sword. Yeah, that is not gonna work. Thought that was gonna work, but no. That's like a straight like machete. Look, that's like a two-handed sword. I want it to like feel like weighty within here. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, I was gonna draw drapery on here. You see this little drapery thing? See, that's the good thing about having a little thumbnail. At least like you have some sort of like a semblance of what you might be doing. These characters are actually kind of coming together. That's the other thing, is like I always like just do not like, I don't know, I guess I haven't been drawn in a bit, but it's like every character I see, it's just like they always end up surprising me. There's something that surprises me about it, like every time. Oops, that was totally wrong. I think I got that cloak wrong. I don't think that's actually how it should be. I was like, what is that? I always forgot I made a little something like that. Characters kind of get bringing on some characteristics, yeah. So now what we do here is, you know, we think about like balancing things out. One thing is I do like to try and balance out are these lines right here, like the way it's almost like the graffiti thing. Like it's almost literally like how I'm treating this part right here. It's basically like doing this right here, like, you know, our warm-up. It almost doesn't seem like it, but a lot of the same like shapes are actually used in here. Kind of strange, but yeah, I kind of treat this part as like as just kind of just doing graffiti, but we're just doing line work of a figure and just knowing the structure and how things are, you know, placed and stuff and how things work. I think that's a big one, is like how things work within like figure drawing, you know, like how does like how like what are the base shapes, you know. Basically everything just seems like it's just like squares and circles. Yeah, just squares and circles. But it does get very, very complex, especially like the more detail you go. The more detail, the more painting you do, you know, how detailed you want to get. You know, it can get really, really, really gnarly actually. So like with the hand, for example, I mean, this is actually, so we have this arm. I mean, so if we break this down, if I can, maybe it might even make it easier for me. So we know that this is a cylinder, basically, right? This is going up like that. His hand is like a square shape, like this. And then from this is his palm. Since we know this shape right here, we can like split that in half. And since we know that that's in half, we could make that palm area right there, right? Something like that. We know that we could bring that up since we know that that's the palm. And draw some fingers. Now I should have just drawn it right there, huh? What am I doing? I should just draw it right there. Something like that. That does not look like a hand. But that's essentially what I'm trying to draw. Okay. does not look like a hand, but in my mind, it does look like a hand, so I'm gonna go with it. Something like that. Kind of digging this character. This character's kind of cool. I mean, what else? I kind of like what else can we add to this? That's the thing. I guess the other part of it is like, how do we ink it out? You know, because like that's when it gets really, really gnarly. I mean, this part's not, that stressful because we can always change it, but it's like then when the ink happens, that's when brutality happens. Do, Oh, I don't know what else to do with this character. I don't like this armor right here. I think I need to do something else. Oh well, I guess we'll just keep going. This dude's gonna have like, I guess like baggy pants or something. No, it doesn't look like he. Yeah, but... Oh, you know what? He's actually gonna have a bag right here. Maybe we can add a bag. So we're gonna add a Bible too. Can't be a paladin without a Bible, huh? Oh, does that work? Darn it. I don't think this is gonna work. I think I got the perspective wrong. Darn it, I did. That's why I didn't want to make these lines. Dude, this is... Oh my goodness. See, I wish I was like confident like that. I wish it was confident like, oh, boom, boom. Nope. Does that work? It's like a floating Bible. I think that might work. That doesn't work, I don't think. I think I got the perspective wrong. Oh my goodness. Like, how do you draw a book that's like tilted? Because that seems like it's like that. Right? How do you... Is that perspective wrong? I think it is. It looks wonky. How can we make this character different? That is the question, is how do we make this character different? Trying to think. Maybe... I mean, I'm tempted to... The thing is, I always draw that shield. I feel like I've been drawing it too much, you know? But it is like the shield of faith, so, I mean... Should I continue to just keep drawing them? I just feel like it's like... Like, always, I'm like drawing this. No, it's okay. It's the shield of faith. I gotta just rock it. Okay, and then this shield will have like the circle thing. So like you can block. He can like. So it's like a floating shield, I think. But also like he can block with it, and I guess that'll kind of make it like maybe like a little bit of the composition. But there's like for some reason I've been digging this like whole thing right here, because like you can block with it, but then also like you can oh shit, oops, sorry, didn't mean to curse. But also like you can block with it, but also like you could have your sword and push it right through there. Dude, this character is actually pretty cool. It's so weird because like I always like think like I don't want, like I feel like they're not gonna end up, you know, anything. They always like surprise me once you like kind of build them up a bit. I guess the real thing is am I going to be able to ink it? Because how long have I been on here? Can I ink this in an hour? That's the hard part, man. Part that's grueling. I think what I'm going to try instead of using this, because I always see people. There's so many people that use this. Like, you know, they use the brush pen. Oh shit! Did I leave it open? Darn! I think I might have left it open. We didn't try it out. I see so many people using this. They're so good with these. Man, the pressure sensitivity is like on max, dude. Like it's like that pressure sensitivity is really. Yeah, I think I might just try this like just normal pen. I feel like I'd be a little bit more accurate with it. And then maybe like, though it's probably going to take longer, the reason why I think they use this one is because it's just, you know, you can basically do 3 things in one. You could do a skinny line, a fat line, but it's just like, I feel like this is a bit maybe too advanced for my level that I'm trying to go for. See, the thing is, I've drawn this kind of character a lot. Like, even like a couple streams early, I think I did the same thing, you know? Same hand, basically, except he had like the energy sword. I think I did the book like that, but it was different. It was like flipped this way. Oh, I think I actually have an idea. Now, this is taking from the other drawing, or the card that I've been kind of drawing a lot, the Frontline Medic. So I guess from here, I don't know, how do straps look for the back of the shield? Actually, I don't really know. Draw a strip. I was gonna like, see, that's the other thing, is sometimes I want to like put a bunch of detail, because like I would want to have like maybe like some potions back here. Like it'd be kind of cool if he had like potions like behind his shield, but I feel like I don't have like enough room. Like it would crowd a lot of this detail. Maybe, I guess we can maybe try. What would like a potion look like? I guess we could do like little potions. Yeah, I like little potions. So this guy's gonna have like, they're actually gonna be like in like almost like flattened like flattened like potion jars, so it could fit behind his shield. They're gonna be corked. See, that doesn't even look. That's the problem, is sometimes I do this detail right here, but then like when you look at it, you're like, what the heck is that? You have no idea that that's a potion. And then I draw one right here, and then it would just get like bunched up. Like you don't even know that that's a potion, and that's the problem. Because I know like when I ink this out, it's just gonna look totally random. Like it's gonna be like, what is that thing? But I want to do a potion right there, but it just doesn't seem like it's gonna work. If I were to ink it out, I mean, you know? Like it's not gonna read as a potion. Now if I was doing a painting, it would be a bit different, because I think you could then I mean, maybe we could just do like the potions level. What happened to Stefan, man? Where you at, bro? How do you draw a little potion? How are we to do this? Okay, maybe like a potion would maybe. I'm trying to think, like, what does a potion do? Okay, that kind of looks more like a potion. Yeah. I'll just do a bunch. Okay, so this is on that perspective. Or not perspective, but kind of like that line right there. So I'll just draw a bunch of them right there, I guess. But then it's going to get caught up right there, and it's going to look weird, but... And I don't know how these things are actually even sitting in there. Are these things strapped on? Are they? I don't know. I'll do one, maybe three, maybe four. Maybe do one more push up in here. Okay, he has 4 potions. So he has a shield. They don't look like potions at all, but we're gonna go with it, I guess, huh? We got the potions. Scripture, I guess he needs something to carry a lot of his stuff in. Maybe I should do like a bag right here. Oh yeah, actually the bag should be on this side because his hilt will be on this side. Because he takes because you take the sword out over here, right? I think so. So I think he'd have a bag right here, right? So we'll draw a little bag right there then, on top of his armor, I guess. Let's see here. That's some sort of square shape. Goes down like that in some degree. Got a little latch thing. I guess how is this going to be connected to the belt though, huh? I guess it's just going to be connected from another belt thing. And it'll just be connected like on here, I guess. Okay, so we're equipping this dude up. He's got 4 potions. He's got a Bible. He's got the... Oh, wait a minute. He doesn't have the helmet of salvation. We need the helmet of salvation. We need the breastplate of righteousness. We need the belt of truth. We need the boots of the gospel of peace. The sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, which is the Bible right there. We have the shield of faith. And yeah, paladin. that's what I view a paladin as. I don't know, like that's how I see it. If there was the armor of God, that's kind of how I would picture it. Problem is now this how see, I guess that's the thing. I guess that's the thing you could do, because a helmet could almost even be like a halo, right? Like a circlet. So okay, so this halos are weird because like sometimes like I get that's the thing is he has this hairstyle too. Kind of like sometimes I like get the perspective wrong. Okay, that's kind of what I'm maybe going for. Kind of looks lame. I don't know. I feel like it should be a little littler, but then it's kind of weird because he already has that hairstyle. I don't know. Finish this out. And try and match that right here. Or actually, see how there's 3 like giant scale mail pieces right here? I'm going to try and do this design in other areas. Actually, maybe I should put it right up in here too. That actually might like balance it out. Like if we were to do like this design, but have like maybe like push it up in here. Oh, actually that might actually work because then it would kind of like match with like the deltoid, because you know how the deltoid is, you have the front deltoid, the side deltoid, and the back deltoid. So that would be kind of like, so I'm trying to think, but I don't know if it's gonna really work out. Oh, you know what? They could be leaves. Huh. They don't look like leaves. Oh, yeah, I was going to do this armor right here. Push this out because that's his anatomy right there, and it's kind of like some plate mail or something. So it has to stick out just a little bit above the anatomy. What else can this character have? I don't know what this end of the hilt thing is called, but I know that that's a many artists always like to add to incorporate some sort of what's it called? Some sort of design and stuff. I'm trying to think if there's some. Oh, you know what I'm gonna add with this sword? I'm gonna add like maybe it's gonna have like some sort of like enchantment on it to where like if he drops his sword, if he drops his sword, then wait up. I need to figure out how this chain. I'm always bad at drawing these little chain things. But actually, I don't like that at all. I think we could get rid of that. Maybe not. It's gonna be connected onto this like this ball thing. Actually, that's not gonna be a ball. It's gonna be like a cylinder thing. I guess maybe that can almost be like a chainmail thing, huh? I mean, not chainmail, but what's it called? Mace, flail thing. But I was gonna maybe draw like wings on it, to where maybe like if he drops the sword, he can like pick it back up. It'll like fly back to him or something. It almost feels like you could like hold that right there. Like hold that and use that as like a flail. Just kind of. I guess maybe what I'll do is with the hilts, I'll put wings on the hilts somewhere. No, I kind of like just the simple one. I kind of like just like simple swords. Sometimes. So I think I got some of the drapery lines wrong. Do 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 do. I forgot that there isn't any music. I don't know if I'm gonna ink this out. I think I'm too hesitant to ink it out, man. I'm too scared. I'm just gonna always just ruin it and just get frustrated. I don't know what music to listen to. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Where is that? Wasn't I listening to something like that? Let's go back to our history. Oh wait, here it is. That's where it is. Okay. Open new tab. Restaurant. Okay, let's see here. Listen to. What do people listen to when they ink? Maybe I could listen to this. Let's maybe try this. I'm either gonna enjoy this or this is gonna be a very bad mess. Oh man, it's not ready for this. Let's see. I wonder if I can kind of get into here, change this angle. I guess that's the other thing. It's like this camera angle's very awkward to try and do this. I'm actually really digging this pen compared to what I was trying the brush pen. I don't know how you guys do that brush pen. It's hard. Oh man, this is brutal. I'm actually really liking this actually. It's alright. Let's see here. I'm trying to get the right. The thing is, I hold my drawings and stuff up because I don't have like a good drafting table to like actually. what most normal people have. Actually, kind of worked out, huh? Man, I should have been. It's weird because nobody says to use this. Nobody says to use the other ones. I guess I guess people are good at different things, you know. So this one just seems more like I have control over it. Maybe I'm just not. I'm not at the level to use the. To use the. What's it called? Brush pen. I'm gonna watch some inspiration.
Why does it take you so long? Well, I've always liked the book, and I wanted to do the kind of bang-up job on the pictures that I don't believe ever's been done before. Why did you decide to do them all in pen and ink? Well, since the book was written in the early 19th century, I wanted the pictures to look like they belonged in that time period also. Like woodcuts or stone engraving? Yes, exactly. I was after a technique. I wanted the illustrations to look as if they were done for the original edition of the book in 1818. And how did you arrive at the monster's appearance? Well, Shelley was pretty vague on exactly how he looked. She describes him. Let me find the quote. His yellow skin scarcely covered the work of muscles and arteries beneath. His hair was of a lustrous black and flowing, his teeth of a pearly whiteness. But these luxuriances only formed a more horrid contrast with his watery eyes, that seemed almost of the same color as the dun white sockets in which they were set, his shriveled complexion and straight black lips. So, as you can see, that leaves it pretty open to interpretation. Yes, it certainly does. So what I did, well, I can show you. Oh, did you make that yourself? Yeah. It's modeling clay sculpted over a life-size plastic skull. I was aiming for something that had a kind of unfinished look. The no-nose look? Yeah, no nose, muscles and tendons showing through the skin, such like. I tried to keep the general feeling of the death's head. Just a skull. But with just enough underlying anatomy? Yeah, right. Just enough musculature and stuff showing through the skin so it looks alive. How did you envision the creation itself? Well, again, Shelley was pretty vague about just how it was done. I got the feeling more that it was done with chemistry. Uh-huh. And that's why my lab scenes are pretty heavy on glassware. But, the lightning and electricity. No, that's pure Hollywood invention. Never really happened in the book. I got the feeling more from the book that it was, I don't know, more organic. So I tried to treat the creation as a kind of bonding of chemistry and the way germ culture.
Dude, this pen is actually working. This freaking Walmart pen is actually working.
You see, Shelley was so unspecific, I don't think even she was too clear on how the monster was created. She wasn't really concerned with the science of it. It was just a device to tell the story. On the other hand, I was attempting to visualize it. And since she was so open to interpretation, I decided that I could be vague too. I didn't think it was necessary to be obvious about just how Victor made the monster. Well, that's true. So I decided to stay away from the obvious things like scars and stitches and electrodes poking out of his neck, and just concentrate instead on handling the monster, well, the story itself really, as the archetype it really is. I don't really care how Victor made the monster. It just came to be. It happened, you know. It materialized like a nightmare, like an apparition out of a dark corner of the mind. Okay, now here's a question I'm sure you've never been asked before. Why do you like to scare people? You're right. This is the first time I've ever been asked that question. Well, I really don't like to scare people. You know, I mean, seriously frighten them. You know, I mean, like booga booga. You know. I mean, sure, stories stories like Frankenstein and my pictures, they're scary, but it's a kind of pretend scary.
Dude, Bernie Wrightson is a G, man.
Like real fear. You know, you know what you're getting into with
Dude, Bernie, if you were still alive, man, dude, the church should have commissioned you to illustrate the Bible, man.
It's not what I'm trying to do.
Well, Bernie, thank you very much for that interview.
No, not at all.
That would have been gnarly to see.
Essentially, what I was trying to do with the illustrations in Frankenstein was I was trying to limit myself to the techniques that were in use that at the time that the book was originally written, say around the beginning of the 19th century, which would have been steel engravings or woodcuts. I was trying to pinpoint an archetype, trying to put myself into the mind of Mary Shelley, maybe more into her time, of what would have been frightening to someone in Mary Shelley's time. I think painting is probably a more natural way of reproducing an image on a two-dimensional surface, whereas working in line is just goes completely against all the rules. I mean, my hand exists in space as form and tone and color and bulk. It doesn't have a black line around it. It doesn't have little lines cross-hatched across it to make this side darker than that side. So working in line, working in black and white is much more of an abstraction than working in color, than painting. As far as being a picture maker or an image maker, what always comes first is a picture in my mind. I always see something very definitely inside. I always see it exactly the way I draw it. And the finished product is almost always like I had an opaque projector that was in my head, projecting out through my eyes on the paper, and all I do is trace the picture that I see. When the Batman made an appearance in the Swamp Thing series, that was an awful lot of fun for me, because I had been wanting to do Batman for quite a long time. But I didn't want to do Batman in his own book, in his own story. And this was perfect for me, because now Batman could be a guest star in my book. And I felt that since he was just a guest in my little universe, I had total control over him. I could do anything with him that I wanted. So I decided to make his ears 2 feet long, and to make his cape 30 feet long in certain shots where it just looked good to have this huge tent of a cape blowing in the wind. And nobody argued with me, because it was my interpretation. It was the Swamp Thing lived in his own little universe, his own kind of alternate universe. And the Batman comes in, and it's like walking through a distorting mirror or something. And Batman had to bend to the rules of this universe, and suddenly become this very kind of twisted, monstrous thing. Horror is,
dude, Bernie Wrightson's amazing.
to different people.
You can really tell he's a very intelligent person.
To me, in spite of my drawings of monsters and the creeping dead crawling out of their graves and vampires and Frankenstein's monster and whatnot. Horror to me is an image of a well-dressed man standing on a corner waiting for a bus, and everything about him is absolutely perfect except there's a spot of blood on his shoe.
Gosh darn it, I messed that up. How do you guys do this?
Safer internet.
I messed this armor up. Oh, man, it's okay. No worries, no worries. I should have just kept with the lines. That's the thing, is I sometimes like add a little bit more details and it just messes it up. I'm trying to like keep inspired by watching some like, you know, art videos that I had saved and whatnot. Actually, I kind of want to listen to that guy. I think it starts with a P, right? Power. This is probably going to be copyrighted, though. Show more. Where is it? Mention more. I seem to find it. Oh, okay. Maybe this one. Yeah, we'll listen to some Jeff Watts. This is painting, but I think it'll still somewhat inspire me to keep going.
Hi, my name is Jeff Watts, and I'd like to welcome you to my studio. I will be painting over the next couple days a figurative painting that we'll get into in a moment, but I'd like to introduce a little bit about myself. I've been painting for as long as I can remember. My father is a very traditionally trained artist and illustrator and still working. Huge influence on me. I grew up in the San Diego area. I studied in LA under a gentleman named Fred Fixler at the California Art Institute. Spent many years studying drawing traditionally, a lot of life work, and then I went into the illustration field for a number of years. So I started to establish some of my darkest arts. The lightest light still remain as the canvas stain, since it's not a stained canvas, so I'm not too concerned about that. You know, I like to sometimes stain out most of my whites, but as of late, I've been not doing as much of that. I went through a whole period for years where I just would stain a canvas neutral and paint on that. And
that's what I do.
Training again in the intermediate stages of development, and even when you're very advanced. So either any level doesn't matter. But right now, I'm going to keep it like this, and I'm going to just start working up in the head a bit and try to bring that up to a large posterized shape. Thick and gestural manner. I'll lock this down at break time. My feet are little wheels on this guy are starting to move around a bit.
Oh man, I messed that up. Ugh. That's why I don't like
Here.
inking.
This is not huge, but it's big enough to do the job. Just load that guy up.
Maybe I shouldn't watch like painting stuff. Painting, you have a bit more leeway. You can go back and. I just feel right now it's so like I need to like be very focused, like very very focused, man. Let's see here. We could listen to some of this. This might be interesting. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, let's listen to this.
A private view of a contemporary art show. Don't be fooled by the party atmosphere.
Let's house this audio.
People asking,
what are we?
Empty,
Unhinged,
distorted. Unknown forces greater than ourselves are shaping us to be something we don't feel we really are, something unnatural. The polluted modern environment is like the polluted inner self. Help, we're declining. This feeling of catastrophe isn't really unique to modern life. Tonight we'll look at where it comes from and what we can do about it. Leave the world of international digitalized conceptual art and cross time
to a top hat and tail world.
A private view at London's
Royal
Academy
Academy
in the 19th century. The British are our focus tonight. It's Britain that spearheads the Industrial Revolution, a process of change in society and work that transforms the whole of life. The origin of our modern anxiety is in that momentous change in human consciousness. We feel we're losing our individuality, our creativity. We feel meaningless. Tonight we're going to meet a Victorian who thought he could fight that process, and civilization could rise again. What do Victorians think about? They think about scientific progress and history and human nature. Do all ages pass? Do all civilizations decay? What causes corruption? The man who freaks Victorians out with these thoughts, who sees the problems of the world on an epic scale, is the subject tonight. He's an art guru, John Ruskin. His life's work is about the power of art to save souls. Ruskin was a great battling, critical mind. He taught Victorians to see clearly, and through that to understand what they could be if they were better than themselves. If he's remembered at all today, it's to gossip about his tragic sex life. Tragic because it was all fantasy, and because of the illicit nature of the fantasies. But tonight we're aiming higher. We're looking at the redeeming power of art.
Oh, what's the freaking... There's this amazing show. Actually, I bought it. I literally can't... what's it called? But it's about the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Oh no, my freaking phone's about to die. Here, I gotta find like some sort of extension cord or something. Darn it. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I can just pull this. Right, maybe. Pull this over here. Yeah, that'll work now. I'm just gonna. Oh shit, that almost. This isn't gonna work. Oh, I guess. Let's see here. Is that still on? Anyway, dang dang, this is actually... I kind of want to just finish this out now. Darn, this might actually be kind of a long stream. But yeah, there was this amazing show of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. What's it called? Gosh, it's like a BBC. They literally made like a show of it, and it was anyway, it was amazing. Desperate Romantics. That's, yeah, man, Desperate Romantics, an amazing show. If you're like into art, if you're into like painting, highly suggest you watch that. It's about painters. It's about the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, and it's really awesome. It's pretty funny. Yeah, this guy's actually in it. These artists actually are in it. It's kind of funny.
Art is not just a distraction from the grueling trip of life. It is life. It is our imaginative proposal of what life can be. Ruskin is the prophet of why art matters. He says, you don't live a fulfilled life, you're a slave. You've sold yourself, you live in a world of exploitation. You don't connect to the things around you, they don't reflect you, you're alone. You live a half life. You can live a full one through art. Art has in it that which makes life worth living. He's saying all this in the 19th century. Ruskin died over 100 years ago in 1900. I think what he's saying is still fresh for us now. It can still help us. I think it can actually save us. If you pick up a rock, what's it telling you? It might be that the mighty hand of God is filling everything up with divine power. But if you're a scientist, it's telling you that the Earth isn't a few thousand years old, as it says in the Bible, and created by God in 7 days. It's many billions of years old, and we don't know how it was created. And there wasn't a flood or a Noah's Ark. And you're alone with the mysteries of the universe. Science changed everything for Victorians. Society changed. Nature was disappearing. Nature wasn't something you lived in and ruled your life and reflected your inner being anymore.
Machines ruled life, and they didn't care about your inner being.
It was brooding thoughts like these that occupied Ruskin on his trips to the Alps. The mountains are in his mind when he's thinking about social transformation, rural agricultural culture changing into an overwhelmingly industrial civilization. A new money culture replaces nature and God. Ruskin thought mountains were the quintessence of nature, and so they were the purest form of the language of God. Without them, air couldn't be purified and the flow of rivers sustained, and humans couldn't be startled out of their lethargy with the deep and pure agitation of astonishment. We open our eyes, we see God's revelation. Born in 1819 to wealthy parents who made their money in trade, Ruskin received his early education at home. A large part of it was his mother teaching him to learn great tracts of the Bible by heart. Religious, brought up to love nature, hardwired to see the world as good fighting evil, the element needed to make Ruskin Ruskin was an artist, Turner. How can mere paintings reverse civilization's decline? Coming up after the ads, a big blast of consolation for humanity.
Humanity's lost illusions. I haven't watched this documentary in so long. It's just so refreshing to listen to. I have this one saved. It's like, I used to listen to this a lot actually.
is John Ruskin put art, man, and nature together, and out of the impact, he drew great moral lessons to redeem
A corrupt civilization.
The man who fires up Ruskin to become the guru of the age is the great landscape painter J.M.W. Turner. Turner paints nature, not just the look of the weather exploding into typhoons and storms with the sea roiling and the sky rippling, but the emotion
Of the experience.
He paints the truth of nature. He
Paints nature's power.
Turner exhibited every year at the Royal Academy. In his old age, critics began attacking his vagueness. Ruskin came in to defend him. A letter Ruskin wrote to a magazine complaining about bad reviews of Turner was the seed of Ruskin's 5-volume work,
Modern Painters.
The first one came out in 1843 when Ruskin was 24 and immediately made him famous. Modern Painters is a description of art from the Middle Ages to modern times, with Turner at the centre. Rather than vague, Ruskin says Turner is realistic. Turner's landscapes don't obey fake conventions found in Victorian academic art. They're the equivalent of not being well-mannered in society. They depict nature in an attacking, inspiring, challenging relationship with the modern mind. Today we call that kind of thing romanticism. We forget what it really means. Turner sees the cracking skies, the great sunsets and sunrises. He sees the rush of wind and rain. He sees the rush of modern life. He sees steam and speed and railway trains, the new violent forces that science produces. He sees all this as equally exciting, equally emotional. What he feels within, a great shaking up of man, is what he sees out there. Ruskin was an artist himself, but he didn't consider his own stuff art in the same way as Turner's was. Ruskin went to the same alpine passes that Turner went to and painted the same scenes himself. The pictures are nothing like each other. Turner's a dramatic, vast, powerfully emotional, rolling explosions of mists and rocks, while Ruskin's are just some rocks. This is by Ruskin. He records what he sees. This is by Turner. He transforms what he sees. They're both exactly the same mountain location. Turner travels out there. He lives the reality. He understands the structure of rocks. He knows what cloud formations are, what the weather does, how nature operates. And he comprehends all of that with his own natural feeling. And the final painting is all of that. In the late stages of his art, Turner has gone on to a new level.
Elemental.
Powerful, sublime. But the audience doesn't get it. Victorian polite society doesn't see the truth in his late style, but smeary landscapes done by someone they think of as a social primitive. It's Ruskin who rescues Turner's reputation. Everybody thought Turner was a git. He is an incredibly annoying guy as far as communicating goes. He mumbles, he sneers, he gets in strops, he walks out of meetings. He won't account for himself. No wonder the public wants to cut him down to size, even though he's only 5 feet tall. He's too suddenly rich, too suddenly established, too suddenly successful, and he's too enormously ineffable in his mist exploring. He's only the son of a barber. He's too working class to be sublime. But for Ruskin, Turner's mental processes are the same as his own. Turner paints as Ruskin thinks, art as revelation, like God's revelations. Ruskin owned a painting by Turner of a slave ship in a storm, given to him by his father. It transfixed Ruskin. He saw in it God's salvation, man's cruelty. He saw the scale of nature versus the vulnerability of humanity. By expressing all this with such intensity, Turner reveals art's inner purpose. Art is not just a trivial enhancement of life that you talk about
It is life.
in a stilted, false way to impress people.
It's about something tremendous that can and absolutely should change your life. Ruskin saw that in this painting, Turner's mists shower us with the mighty realization of our presence here on Earth. The laws of how to live come tumbling out of Ruskin like a new 10 Commandments, with Turner's art as God up the mountain. In Modern Painters, Ruskin proposes what he calls the law of help. In a plant, he writes, the taking away of one part injures the rest. If any part enters into a state in which it no more assists the rest, and has thus become helpless,
We call it dead.
the power which causes the several parts of the plant to help each other we call life. Ruskin goes on to say, the intensity of life is also
Sorry, I'm trying to, like,
intensity of helpfulness.
I guess I should probably maybe raise
Each
this
part
up
on all the
a little
rest.
bit more.
The ceasing of this help is what we call
Corruption. Oh wait, that doesn't
Ruskin
help.
sees this law is worked out as no place in the industrial mechanized
Well,
world. Unless we remedy that, he thinks, we are lost.
boom, 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 boom.
1852, Ruskin, aged 33, floats through the Renaissance city of Venice, looking at history, coming up with answers to the problem of how to re-civilize modern man. But it's not the message you might think. Ruskin is important because he creates great moral myths of what happened to the world, where it's headed and how people ought to behave. They're like biblical myths, only instead of biblical stories, Ruskin uses art and nature as his materials. Ruskin's greatest myth was created here, in the city of Venice. Ruskin's here to write his next great book after Modern Painters. It's called The Stones of Venice. Instead of painting, it's about architecture. He prepares material for it, notes and drawings. He obsessively replicates every part of the city that interests him. His work is looking, analysing, understanding. What architecture does, Ruskin thinks, is it expresses the values of a civilization. It expresses its soul. You can see the spiritual health of a civilization
In its architecture.
But when the civilization goes wrong, you can see that too. And civilization going wrong is what Ruskin sees in the Renaissance. Ruskin is the guy who comes up with the radical idea of a bad Renaissance instead of a good one. He sees the Renaissance as the first step toward the alienated, spiritually empty world of today. Ruskin says, Renaissance bad, the Gothic good.
Dude, this pen is so much more. I have so much more control with this one.
Architecturally, Venice is a mixture of styles, still surviving from different eras. To see what really matters, Ruskin says, you need to go back before the Renaissance to the medieval Gothic. The Gothic is all about contrast and surprise, one texture against another, different forms accumulating and supporting each other. This is St. Mark's Cathedral, full of Gothic features. And this is the Doge's Palace, even more Gothic. The Doge is the governor of the Republic of Venice. Medieval labourers who work for him believe their rulers are good, Ruskin says, and they believe in their own individuality, which is connected to nature. It's the labourer's individual creativity that's valued. He's not just knocking out something standard and uniform. The carver contributes to the good of the whole simply by expressing himself. The society is healthy. It's Ruskin's idea of good government, reflecting his law of help. The craftsman feels part of nature. His feet are firmly on earth, while the towering Gothic structure he helps to build is a brother to the mountain that soars up to God. What you're seeing is inspired wonkiness.
Wonkiness.
In a row of windows, a decorated arch pops up for no reason. The line of windows suddenly drops a level. The bricks change tone unpredictably. The pattern keeps changing rhythm. But nothing feels out of whack. It all rights itself. Like a plant, the building reaches fulfillment through all the different individual parts, cohering and cooperating. Ruskin thinks the Renaissance style that comes after the Gothic is only cold perfection, not based on trees and mountains, but on squares and circles. Symmetry is sterile. It's not about
I wish I
parts
could
expressing
like be
nature,
drawing like
but
this,
in
but the
a
camera's
different
right
way,
in front of
a
me,
streamlined
and I can't
geometric whole that ignores nature.
I can't get into it, you know, because I actually really have to look deep into this.
Where's the individuality? Where's the human soul?
Dude, this is probably the best ink I've ever done. It
Here,
sounds
the
crazy, but
society is sick.
I've never done an
Labourers
ink like this
working for
before.
Renaissance princes glorifying themselves are not artists creating, but automatons slaving. There's no shared vision of nature uniting the powerful and the poor. The labourer's spirit is deadened. Today's milling tourists by St Mark's Square don't realise that they're in the middle of a battle. It's being fought between two buildings facing each other across the square. On the right, the Renaissance-style library, designed in the 16th century. And on the left, the Doge's Palace, built in the 1300s. Every single one of the marble columns that you're looking at here has its own different, individual, intensely done stone carving at the top of it. Throughout this whole building, the eye is getting correctness, but it's also being constantly entertained. Now look at the Renaissance-style library opposite, with its dignity but also its monochrome monotony. Its regular, predictable repetition of shapes throughout, so that the eye knows exactly at the start what it's going to be seeing right through to the end. Between these two buildings, you're looking at a war of the worlds. Medieval world versus Renaissance world. For Ruskin, it's life versus half-life. Ordinary people being spiritually fulfilled, the Doge's Palace. Ordinary people being nothing, just used creatures, the Renaissance-style library. The Doge's Palace shows ordinary people interacting with the rulers to build a civilization. It shows medieval craftsmen's joy in their labour being imbued into the stones. The inner world is connected to nature. The Gothic style is the great reminder to people living in cities of the natural environment. Medieval craftsmen feed the language of nature into their carvings. Renaissance style buildings don't show any of that. They just show labourers following through a plan that's been handed down to them. Ordinary people living in Renaissance world live in an environment that isn't for them, that doesn't reflect nature, that doesn't express their inner feelings, and that they don't understand. This goes against everything we've been brought up on. We think, ooh, Renaissance, you should hear Vivaldi whenever you see it.
No, you should hear Doom.
Ruskin says no, you should hear Doom.
Doom, 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 doom.
Ruskin's lesson about the past is a message about how to live now. One way is to be a crushed slave, like he saw in his own civilization and what had happened to him. And the other is to be alive to every moment of existence. Ruskin goes to the island of Torcello in the Venice lagoon to see the church there, first built by Christians fleeing from Attila the Hun in the 7th century. Mosaics from the 11th century show the weighing of souls, the battle of good and evil, the solemn awareness that no one escapes judgment. The mosaics carry on visual traditions that are 1,000 years old, organic, spontaneous pattern, man unified with nature. Ruskin contrasts all this with the Renaissance. And in that contrast, where anybody else might just see a style change, because after all, change does happen, he sees a great moral collapse from spiritual health to spiritual corruption. coming of his own time. It's the biblical revelation gradually dawning on him. Venice is Britain. The history of Venice is going to teach a lesson to Britain.
Should I keep going? Man, I've been streaming for a while now. It's kind of, I don't know if I could keep this up doing like an ink every single day if that's going to take 4 hours.
Immensely wealthy from its trade and conquests and proud of its traditions and heritage. That's Britain, the British Empire in the 19th century, unaware that it's rotting away.
I don't know, man. This is taking a lot longer than I thought. I don't know if I could be, because I wanted to do a character every single day, but if I'm gonna have, I guess I don't have to ink it out. I guess this is just one I wanted to ink out. I don't have to do one every single day. Let's draw these little potions, huh? Fudge, I totally messed one of those up. Darn. Just want to get this done. far, that's what I got so far. It's looking actually pretty legit. I mean, I'm not really doing the form. I want to do like the shadow shapes. Like I want to do the shadow shape inking. Like, you know, where you don't do the line and you just do the shadow shape. I don't know how they actually do that. Like, you know, like when Frazetta does it, like he does like the shadow shape, and I want to do it like that, but actually I think I got one of these lines completely wrong. I did. So it's kind of fun. Actually, now I'm seeing somewhat of more some of like the fun of the inking part, because like you can change things on the fly, but it's like if you make that change, you kind of have to just go with it, man. But still, it's really interesting. Almost actually done with the line work part. This is like one of the first inks, man, that I'm like legitimately like, whoa, it actually kind of worked, man. Like, because most of them I would just always just get frustrated, man. And I'm like, and it scares me sometimes. From even trying. Oops, is this correct? This one's actually, he's gonna have like, no, I didn't put one on there. Maybe put a spike or something, but Holy moly. Kinda got it done. I wanted to just, just freaking really just try and push it, man. There we go. Man. This might be the best. This is like the best ink. It sounds crazy, but I think this might be the best ink I've ever done. I'm just looking from the looks at it. I really, really tried to put a lot of my zeal into this one. Trying to honor the Lord. Trying to honor you, man. I kind of don't really know like what to do with like the form lines, so I'm kind of just like going in and just doing little doodads. Is that what people do? I don't know. I don't know how they do the form lines and stuff. I don't know if like I should do like the rest of the halo, or should I just have I think I might just have the halo like that. Just like one line. That one turned out pretty good now, I think. Straight just 3 hours right there. 3 hours worth of work. Well, I'm not, the thing is, I don't know, like, I want to do the, the shadow shapes and stuff, but then it gets really, really scary doing that. Okay, that's when I would just maybe ruin the whole thing. I'm really digging this pen, though. It's very interesting. That was brutal. I didn't think I was actually gonna. I was like, maybe I should ink it out. Let's see what it looks like in the light. It looks kind of like that's the problem. I wish I could do it with it looks very like I kind of don't like just like that one line thing. See, eventually I need to upgrade to this one, which I see so many people using. This one, it's so hard. Like I always like mess things up. This one I feel like this is just like a Walmart pen, but it's just like I feel like I could just like push down, like I could, because actually I put a lot of weight, like I'm putting a lot of pressure on it, Whereas this one I gotta be like really, really gentle, like so gentle. So anyway, probably gonna end the stream. I need to just chill out, man. Anyway, blessings everybody here. You know what it be. Team Elohim. Farewell. Remember to keep trying your best. And I guess what else? I guess somehow find the enjoyments of failure. I think that's lately what I've been, especially what I've been trying to do with the fire hydrant, something like. But yeah, just try and find the enjoyments of the failures in life. Kind of forgot I did this one too. But yeah, see this. It actually, you know what? This part actually reminds me of like this part. You know, it's kind of. It sounds weird, but like how you do this, just no reference, just you just doing it, you just kind of flowing with it. That's kind of what this one kind of felt like. So maybe actually I might maybe I'll do more of this as a warm up. I think this might be just a good shape exercise to like for like imaginative shape exercise or something. Well, anyway, farewell everybody. Try your best and try to motivate others to do the same. See ya.